Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Sever7, and today we're going to take a look at the Vanguard Knives Essex. I do want to say, I know it's been a little bit since my last upload. That's only because I've been trying to focus more on how to improve the quality of the videos, editing, lighting, and things like that, to make sure that the videos are more enjoyable to watch and there isn't something silly or goofy that makes you just want to be like, oh my God, this is terrible. So it hasn't been, distractions or a lack of, commitment or anything like that. It's really just been, how can I improve the quality? I think the last video, I forgot to title it. You know what I'm saying? So just little things like that. But we will get to a point to where we're pumping out 2 videos a day. We're just ramping up a little bit. Now, this box I've absolutely already been in, but the unboxing experience was so nice that I wanted to share it with you. I've actually had this knife for about a week. I've gotten to use it and handle it. Well, we'll jump into that in a moment. All right, so jumping into the box, I don't know why I twirled it there. Jumping into the box, we're greeted with this very nice wooden box, Vanguard Knives. It's got the logo, and that logo is actually like carved in, right? That's not just like an overlay. That's actually like, I don't know if you can hear that. But I thought this presentation was really nice. And then upon opening the box, we're greeted with a couple of things. The first thing is, and it's a little dirty because I was handling it, but we have Vanguard Knives, model Essex, M390 blade steel, titanium handle, and this was a collaboration between Vanguard Knives and Max Works. But overall, this satin finish, it just looks really classy. And this is I want to say it's titanium. I don't have a magnet to test it, but yeah, I want to say it feels like titanium. So absolutely fantastic. And then within the box, obviously we get the knife, which we'll check out in just a second. But with every Essex, they include Damascus pocket clip just in there. You just get the option to have either or. So like with the Vanguard Cheetah, you could buy a model that had the Damascus clip, or you could buy a model that did not have it. But with this one, and hopefully they do it moving forward, you just have one included. And the blues and purples on this are really, really nice. A lot more yellow on the bottom side, but I think this is a really classy touch, including the metal card, the wooden box. Overall, just a very nice presentation. Now, taking a look at the knife, like I said, I have put this to use, so you're going to see some snail trails and some scuffs. You can kind of see it right in there. What I like about Vanguard Knives is that their models can be collector pieces for some, but they can also be workhorses for others. And I wouldn't be doing my job right if I wasn't putting these knives to use for the people that want them as workhorses. So for starters, we've got some subtle milling on the titanium. And so the milling pattern goes this way, but then I'm going to do everything in my power not to continue smacking the ever-living crap out of the camera stand. But if you look right here, we've got milling in the opposing direction, which I think is a really, really nice touch. We've got the satin pivot collars. And overall, just a really clean aesthetic. You'll notice there's no hardware on the show side, which I think is a really, really classy touch. We flip it over. We've got our lock bar relief cut, milled titanium pocket clip with a little bit of hardware, satin pivot collar, just the other side of the one we looked at. And I think the hardware is T8s, but let me take a look. So it looks like, there we go. All right, T8, T8, T8. All right, so yeah, all T8 hardware, love to see that. And then really nice stairs on the thumb studs. It's really, really comfortable to flip out. And I would say this is, because of the angle here to here, you could call it a drop point, but it's almost kind of a clip point too. We've got a, yeah, I would lean towards clip point, but call it whatever you want. We have a really nice, two-tone stone wash finish. And I want to say we have a flat grind on the blade. Deep carry, tip up, milled titanium pocket clip. And I gotta say, right out of the gate, a few things that I really enjoy about this knife is the action. This is what I would call like a big easy. I mean, the lock bar access is incredible. It's rounded, so it's very easy to disengage. And if you just look at the action, very controlled. This thing is not rushing. It's a heavy blade, but this thing is not out of control guillotine. It's just a very nice, easy, controlled fall. In addition to this, this is a big knife. This is a full-size knife. I haven't measured it yet, so let's do that really quick. All right, so as far as, it might help if I flip it over to the American measuring system. All right, so as far as blade length, it looks like we have about 3.8 inches of overall blade length and maybe 3.6 inches of cutting. And then the overall length, we're looking at about 8.3 inches overall. So not a tiny knife by any stretch. We can do a couple size comparisons really quick. We'll do the Pyrite Light. I'll bring these up a little bit for you. So substantially larger than the Pyrite Light. We also have the Wee Knives Evoke, which we can put up here, and quite a bit larger than the Wee Knives Evoke. So, you know, definitely a full-size knife here. Ergonomics, this thing is incredibly comfy. So obviously we have a nice comfortable groove to put our finger in, but then you can see that the handle kind of bellies out a little bit, and all these edges are rounded off, so there's really nothing sharp about it. And looking back at the clip, it goes below the 50% mark, so you really don't notice it in hand, but even then it's rounded, no sharp edges, very comfortable, so you can get a full grip on this. And if I bear down, like if I white knuckle it, I'm talking as hard as I can, then I can feel the clip. And it's a little bit of a hot spot, only if I'm white knuckling it. But just in hand, just carrying this knife, super comfortable. You know, and even despite its size, if you need to get in there and do some pinch grips, what would Tri-State say? All day? yeah, all day. This is incredibly comfortable for any sort of precision cuts that you want to do. Um, with this knife, it strikes a really good balance of, paying attention to all the little extra details with the milling and the action, the feel in hand, but also it's, really a knife that you don't feel bad about beating up, or putting to work rather. Uh, in my testing, this thing was super easy to carry. I will say it wasn't bad in and out of the pocket, because you can see it, you get past this clip. It's a little springy. You get past this clip and then you've got plenty of clearance here. It might have just been the way I was putting it in and out of my pocket, but it just felt like initially it was a little tough to get over that first hump. But then, once you're in there, you're in there. And then it's, easy exit. But I found this knife to be very comfortable. It held up to all my testing, which, in reality, opening mail, opening boxes, really nothing too insane. But this is going to handle, 99% of anything you could throw at it. Like as far as daily tasks go, I don't know that I would go out and baton with it, or bushcraft with it. But overall, I found this knife, a real delight and joy to carry. I also found it a joy to fidget with. And overall, it's kind of like what I said earlier, just a big, easy knife. So this knife comes in at about $290, which for some people, that's going to be a little expensive. If you actually paid $290 for this knife, you just didn't look hard enough, right? Because you can go to White Mountain Knives and get, free shipping, no taxes, 10% off, and that brings this knife down to about $260 all in. I'm not saying it's not worth the $290. I just know that's a lot for some people. And I found it other places, even less expensive than that. So, but if you get this knife, at $260, easily recommendable. But even at $290, a very recommendable knife. Now, this is on the more expensive end of what Vanguard Knives has to offer. Their Cheetah model, full price with the Timascus is like $270, but you can get the non-Timascus version for I think like $230 in that ballpark. And once again, White Mountain Knives, 10% discount, drops you down to like $217. And then right there, you're in artisan cutlery territory, but you're getting, I would say, an unquestionable amount of bang for your buck. So yeah, this knife is definitely recommendable, whether you want to collect it or keep it. And I think anybody that gets this is going to really enjoy it. One other detail is right here, we've got this little groove. The jimping is functional, it just doesn't go out very far. But when you're holding it, you can kind of fit your thumb in there. And this would be where you really get to put some power behind it if you're going through thick boxes or anything like that. But yeah, overall, easily recommendable knife. I really enjoy it. Let's get some weight measurements on it. Because it's not super heavy, but just based on the material, it's also not the lightest knife out there. All right, so we're coming in at about 4.8 ounces. So not quite the perfect ratio, but still easy enough to carry, not cumbersome. And let's take a look at the blade stock thickness. Let me actually get it in the camera so you guys can see what I'm doing here. All right, so it looks like we're at 150 thousandths behind the edge, so fairly thick. You've got, if you just take a look at it compared to even something like the Wii, we're coming in at about double the thickness there. So very robust knife, but still with the belly that you have, and how it thins out. You guys can see how much thinner it gets towards the edge. Still very slicey, and then with how thick it comes towards the point, you still have a lot of robustness. If you need to stab into something, if you need to poke into a box, or whatever you're cutting into, you're still going to have a lot of material supporting the pokey tip. So, final thoughts is, yeah, I would say excellent knife, highly recommendable, big fan. For anybody that doesn't know anything about Vanguard knives, the founder of PMP knives, and if you guys don't know PMP, they specialize in overbuilt, high quality, large folders. You can kind of think of like a Midgar Messer or like a Maxace, kind of in that realm of large folders. And then in this year 2024, the founder of PMP made Vanguard knives, and the aim there was really just to make affordable, high quality production knives. And what's really cool about them is, while this version of the knife was manufactured in China, they have basically sprint runs that they're going to do of certain models of their knives that are going to be specifically USA made, right? So if you like a knife, but you're focused on just buying USA made knives, then you're still going to have options to get their knives USA made. But if you're not as concerned with that, and you really want the best price to quality you can get, then then they still have these Chinese production versions. The other cool thing is right when they launched, they had I think 10 models designed with the designer that they partnered with up on their website. So you can go on the website. I'll have it linked below as vanguardknives.com. But you can go to their website and you can see what all of their different models are, who they partnered with. Like this one's Max Works. The one just before this was an Ivan Bergretz. We'll just say Ivan B. It was an Ivan B design. I can't remember the one before that. But yeah, I mean, these guys are awesome. They're super transparent. They're coming out of the gate swinging. I've handled 2 of their knives, this one and the Vanguard Cheetah. Big fan of both of them. So otherwise, that's really all I've got for you guys today. So I appreciate any support. Obviously, do the like and subscribe. Leave any feedback in the comments below, whether it's, you're too rambly, talk less, or, fix your lighting, or, whatever. I will accept the feedback because I plan on being around for quite a while, and any feedback you give me is going to help out tremendously. Otherwise, thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching. Sever7, and I'll see you guys in the next one.